Now, this is a glimpse into the horror culture, which is coming from America right now. And it's a culture of weakness that is encouraging to make people weak. And the only reason that I think someone wants to do that is due to the fact that weak people are a lot easier to control than strong individuals that are capable of defending themselves. And it's not like a weakness that is made physically evident, it's a mental weakness. As in, if something is going on and it's bad for you, just expect society to fix it. Don't do anything yourself in order to fix the situation you're in. Allow the people in power to fix it for you. In other words, empower the people in power, if that makes sense, and they will fix whatever problem comes your way. And this is evident from the schooling system. I mean, reading this and showing this to other Europeans, they're completely baffled. I mean, Eastern Europeans. I don't know how a British person would view this. But this is a Catholic school. And you'd expect a Catholic school to have different sets and values than, well, I guess the progressive ones. But no, apparently a Connecticut high school has apologized after its girls' basketball team beat an overmatched opponent 92-4. I mean, why are they apologizing? It's a sport. Okay, you train for it. And when it comes time, you show what you've trained. Now, if you didn't train for it properly, if you didn't take it seriously, well, you're going to end up with a 92-4 score. And not to mention, like, you can quit at any time. It's not like you're a prisoner on the field. I mean, if you notice that the game is going that bad, you can just abandon it. You can just say, look, it's our fault. We weren't prepared well enough. We didn't take this seriously. We're sorry. But no, like, they didn't do that. So it's, I guess it's the opponent's job to not only care about winning, but like to care about your feelings. It's like, oh, we shouldn't win this bad. And like, I wonder if it's just because it's the girl sports. Because I remember when Germany defeated and humiliated Brazil in football. And Brazil was a country that had people starving because the wealth income disparity is quite high. And the government took a lot of money in order to build a new football stadium. And they invested a lot into football. And then they got absolutely demolished, humiliated by Germany. I mean, no one held the Germans to account. No one shamed the Germans. Oh, how dare you play football so well? What is wrong with you? Don't you know? I mean, maybe like the only exception that I would say to this rule was when the North Korean team was humiliated. Because, like the athletes probably endured a lot back home. So that is like a different thing. It's a special case. But I don't think like the girls from this high school got humiliated at home because it was a 92-4 loss. So not only that, right? Now is the corpo apology. The Sacred Heart president says the school is deeply remorseful. Like they're crying at night, okay? Like all the teachers are like, our team won. Oh, the humanity. They don't give a shit, but it's the correct thing to say. This is what a moral, decent, upstanding pillar of the community would say. If you want to show that you're a person who cares, you need to speak the speech. You don't need to actually help minorities nowadays. You don't actually need to get your ass off the chair and help people in need. No, you need to speak the speech. Speak the correct words, and all the plebs will bow to you and look at you with awe and admiration as they shiver and quake as you're a beacon of virtue to humanity. Man, I hate this culture. I really hate this culture of circus, this culture of performing, where all you have to do is to tear down people, destroy other people, embarrass other people, and then speak the speech, and you are the example. It's a culture that makes assholes in charge and make assholes look like the people we need to venerate, while the actual talent, the actual people that are normal and decent, are being treated like criminals. Because this guy right here, this coach, which managed to get the win. So this coach managed to get all those girls to play like a team and managed to get those girls to win. He is now in trouble. Okay? He is the asshole. He is the problem. Meanwhile, the virtuous people are the losers. The losers and the ones that speak the speech. Sacred Heart Academy values the lessons taught and cultivated through athletic participation including ethical and responsible behavior, leadership and strength of character and respect for one's opponents. Last night girls' basketball game versus Lamer High School does not align with our values and philosophies. Fuck your value. You know, like the idea that these progressive people have values is beyond laughable. How many double standards, how many hypocrisy do we need to see before we realize they have zero values? Sacred Heart Academy administration are deeply remorseful for the manner from the outcome of the game was achieved. We are in communication with them. Like, honestly, how much corporate PR can you get? Corporations are probably the only entities known to man that can write an entire essay without saying a single thing. So, you know, like, of course, the coaches will be aware of the competitive balance and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you know, like, this is the problem. It's not about this football game or basketball game or whatever, okay? It's not about this. Imagine if the real world actually believed this way. You know, imagine it's like, okay, we're BTFOing the enemy soldiers so hard, we should let them take out some of our guys so they don't feel bad at home. You know, this is the mentality. Now, look, the problem with this type of thinking is that when you, because it's not just applied to sports, like we see it applied everywhere, even to grades and even in some places when you have like affirmative action and whatnot. Like, look, these people are supposed to be trained for their future lives, right? That's what school is about, like training people for their future careers. If you're making them think that being incompetent is a virtue, eventually they're going to get jobs that actually put humans' lives at risk. So, of course, you can get a job as an HR or diversity officer, and no one is at risk. Like, even if you're the worst diversity officer in the world, you're not harming anyone. Other jobs, even if you're harming people, you're not being held responsible. Like, for example, if you are an economist and you're giving advice to politicians and it happens that your advice just fuck ups the entire nation, right? Like, you're ruining the nation's economy with your advice. You're not going to be held responsible for that. Like, no one is going to fire you. No one, okay? So there are those jobs, but there are other jobs, like, for example, being an ambulance driver. Like, if you're shit at driving that ambulance, there's not going to be, like, death isn't going to come and it's going to be understanding. You know, 20 people died because of your slow driving, so I, as deaf, I'm going to be sportsmanlike and not take these other 5 patients so you don't go home crying at night. If you're an airplane driver, an airplane pilot, like, no one is going to be more understanding if you can't fly that airplane. Like, there are jobs that literally require professionalism, and there are jobs that literally require you to perform well, because otherwise you're going to end up hurting people. And this is the problem. I mean, eventually, just like what happened to Chernobyl, people think it can't happen again with other things. It does happen again. With this ideology, with this mentality that encourages, like, no, the problem isn't with the people that lost and didn't trade better and didn't want to play. No. The problem is with the winners. They tried too hard. It's like, get the fuck out. You know, I really do not. And again, it's a basketball game, right? I mean, no harm, no foul. If you don't want to play, don't be on the field. If anything, like, either you need to be encouraged to train harder or find out which is the weak link in the enemy team and replace them. Oh, but you can't because their feelings. Oh, their feelings get hurt. It's like, no, you can't replace her. She really wants to be a basketball trainer. Another bullshit idea from the West that you can be anything you want. No, you can't be anything you want. You know, I for example, can't be president. There are certain things that you cannot be. Like, not everyone is born to be everything. It's like, look, if you're not a charismatic individual, you're not going to be a politician. It is what it is, you know, and you can try, but no, like, you can't. Try something that you're good at. Just because you're not good at basketball doesn't mean you're not good at math or something else. Like, maybe do that instead. And let the people who want to play to play alone. Honestly, nothing is more annoying than when you have a drag on your team. It's like a person that doesn't give their all. But they want to be there and play. And probably this is what happened. This is why you get like this result. But you can't be honest about it. You can't talk to them about it because then it hurts their feelings. And nothing is more important than another person's feelings. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.